Hello guys, welcome back to another exciting video. Today we're checking out something from Popo Medic. It's titled SAS Operator Smoked This Nairobi Insurgents. I think this is the first time I'm going to be reacting to any SAS operations at all, so I'm super excited to be watching this. Very curious. I have so many questions, so I'll be dropping my thoughts after this video, so don't go anywhere. Watch till the end, drop your thoughts as well, especially if you're an SAS operative, you served, you know people that have served, you experienced one or anything. Just drop your thoughts, okay, while the video is going on. Let's keep the conversations really moving, you know. So make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, turn your post notification bell, drop your comments. You can join my membership, very important. Use your super thanks, whatever you want to do. I would really appreciate it, okay? And watch my ads. Let's just get straight into the video.
Tuesday, January 15th, 2019. A British SAS operator on a mission to train local Kenyan defense forces quickly found himself in the middle of a two-day siege at the luxury Duset D2 complex in Nairobi. The five gunmen unleashed fury as hundreds of innocent civilians ran for their lives. But not before the solo operator grabbed his weapon and his kit and stormed in, self-initiating an off-duty rescue mission. And after a 19-hour game of cat and mouse, the lone operator saved hundreds of lives and took the lives of the enemy.
To be interesting, it's solo operator. Very interesting.
In 2019 alone, there were over 6 terrorist attacks in Kenya. And over the last several decades, terrorism in Kenya has run rampant throughout, from the 1975 Nairobi bombing to the 2013 Westgate Mall incident. And since its creation in 1895, East Africa has been at the nexus of several political disputes that revolve around the political conflicts of the Middle East, as Kenya has remained an ally of Western governments and is host to several sensitive Western interests, including US and British military bases. And with poverty, weak borders, corrupt or incompetent police, and the rapid rise of extremist groups, Kenya and other African nations have quickly become hotbeds and easy targets for global terrorists. And the Kenyan army has yet to contain the influx of terrorism moving in from Somalia. And sadly, too many Kenyan soldiers have died trying.
Oh my gosh.
At the forefront of Kenya's counterterrorism efforts are the Kenyan Defense Forces' well-armed and well-trained Special Operations Forces. The Kenyan Special Operations Regiment, the 30th Special Forces Battalion, and the 40th Ranger Strike Force, who have all received their training from both US and British Military Special Operations Command, such as the US Army's highly capable Green Berets and the United Kingdom's ultra-secretive Special Air Service. And in January of 2019, an SAS team was sent out to do just that.
And it's just one person. This is, I don't know, one person.
Amongst the SAS team was a team member by the name of Christian Craighead, a seasoned operator who first joined the British Army at 16 years old in 1992. He began his career as a junior paratrooper before coming of age and moving onward to the paratrooper regiment, which, for comparison to the United States, a British paratrooper is the same thing as an Army Ranger. After serving 3 years as a paratrooper, Craighead then joined the Pathfinders, which again, for US comparison, it's like MARSOC. He deployed with the Pathfinders to Iraq during the 2003 invasion of Iraq, where he led reconnaissance missions. And around 9 years later, he attended and completed the SAS's notorious 6-month-long selection program and joined the SAS regiment. And in true SAS fashion, the rest of his history is lost and remains untold, as the ethics of the Special Air Service are true to form of the phrase, the quiet professionals. But the SAS's legendary exploits over the years have often superseded their efforts of secrecy.
The end came with an assault on the building by the Army Special Air Services Regiment, the SAS.
And at the tip of their spear lies the 22nd SAS Regiment, the Special Air Services Tier 1 unit, of which Craighead belonged. And when his seemingly peaceful training mission in Kenya took an unpredictable turn, Craighead delivered the gunman an unpredictable turn of his own. And on the afternoon of January 19, at approximately 3 p.m., at the 5-star Duset D2 hotel complex, as guests were having lunch and shopping around, 5 Kenyan nationals of non-Somali descent were moments away from executing a calculated attack. The terrorist cell had traveled to the complex from their home base located in Somalia. Armed with AK-47s, hand grenades, and an IED, the men staged outside of the complex. The 14 Riverside complex in its entirety is one of East Africa's largest and more upscale developments, consisting of banks, restaurants, executive offices, and the hotel itself. A stage with stark contrast to the barbaric attack that was soon to unfold. At approximately 3:30 p.m., one of the insurgents breaks off on his own and enters the complex, where he locates and fronts the outdoor patio of the lively lunchtime rush of the Secret Garden restaurant, shouting aloud in Swahili before committing to the first phase of the attack and blowing himself up.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Once the explosion was heard, the 4 men began their assault, where they engaged 2 Kenyan police officers guarding the gate. The men then threw hand grenades at 3 unattended parked cars, setting phase 2 of the attack into motion. 2 explosions to create panic and confusion. The 4 men then entered the complex and split up into 2 groups as they made their way to the first office block and began shooting and throwing grenades inside. And at this point, everyone is trying to escape and call for help by any means necessary. Members of private security forces and armed individuals, along with some off-duty police officers, were some of the first to respond, at which time an unknown person present at the complex picked up his phone and called his friend, Christian Craighead. He answered the phone and could hear the sound of gunfire coming from the background. The man requested for Craighead's assistance at the complex. He grabbed his gear and jumped in his truck, dodging in and out of traffic and arriving on scene only moments later. He had little to no intel on what was specifically taking place, but the sound of automatic gunfire was evident. Wearing a balaclava, body armor, and freaking Armani jeans. This dude's 007. And he's also got a Black Rifle coffee block beer patch. Craighead armed himself with a Glock 17, a combat knife, and a suppressed Mako C8 carbine rifle. And without orders, relying only on his elite training and battle-proven instincts, the SAS operator went rogue and mobilized himself. And just like that, Obi-Wan Nairobi was born. Craighead could be seen escorting dozens of civilians out of the complex, and even carrying out the wounded. And with each pull, he turned around and went right back in and did it again. The locals were in awe of a masked foreigner who appeared to be single-handedly taking control of the situation wherever he could. It wasn't long until reinforcements showed up. As police and other Kenyan forces responded to the scene, Kenyan soldiers and police established a perimeter around the complex. Craighead embedded with a group of the soldiers and moved through the complex to continue rescuing employees and guests who were still pinned down within. And footage from the event even shows him leaving those forces behind and taking matters into his own hands to directly engage the enemy. And while clearing buildings and sweeping the courtyards, Craighead located the terrorists and swiftly engaged the enemy, single-handedly killing 2 of them. Gunfire altogether had ceased, and authorities and Craighead alike began to clear the rest of the complex, as the actual number of attackers was unknown at this time. He assisted with coordinating logistics with local Kenyan authorities, went room to room searching for remaining attackers, and provided remaining civilians with a safe escort to the outside perimeter of the complex. While it had been thought that the threat had been neutralized, after a few hours, gunfire and explosions were again heard in the early hours on January 16th. As Kenyan police located the remaining 2 gunmen in a hotel room, and after engaging the men, the Kenyan police apprehended the wounded suspects. And by 11:48 p.m., the Kenyan government announced that the 14 Riverside complex had officially been secured.
Wow. I just hope nobody was hurt in the process. Oh my gosh, so sad.
20 Kenyan citizens, an American and a British South African man, died during the attack.
Gosh.
The terror group Al-Shabaab issued a statement claiming the attack was coordinated with the assistance of Al-Qaeda as retaliation for the relocation of the U.S. Embassy in Israel. Christian Craighead was awarded a conspicuous gallantry cross for ending the 19-hour siege, which is the second highest honor in the United Kingdom. His heroic actions saved hundreds of lives, and he retired from the SAS in 2020. He wrote a book about the event titled One Man In that is currently pending approval from the Ministry of Defense. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit.
What is the use of a training if you would not use it when people need you the most? This was an historical, heroical, like an act of being a hero. I mean, heroes do not only have capes. This is an act of he was a hero. He was a living hero. To be honest, I mean, what's the point of having so much training when, I mean, he's a trained SAS operator. I think we've watched on this channel where we've seen the kind of trainings they go through. So being an SAS operator is not just any military personnel. Like, they go through rigorous training to help them adapt to help them survive and adapt in situations like this. So this SAS operator was not even there at the point of when the whole incident started. He was somewhere else and somebody called him and he heard in the background. He's such an hero. He heard in the background and he went there without even, he went there wearing a jean, trousers, pants, and, used his bulletproofs and his guns and everything to make sure he's really kitted up, and he went in head on to attack these people. He single-handedly took down 2 of these insurgents. Oh my gosh, like, this is such a bravery act. And also, let's also appreciate the Kenyan military personnel, the police, the people that were also there that also helped in one way or the other in saving the day, even though 2 were down and 2 I think found their way out, but eventually they were found in their hotel room. So it was not like they went free that day, but they were, in fact, I think that was such a good thing. They did not just forget about the case. They went ahead, even days after, found them in the hotel room, and they made sure they brought them to justice. It's so sad that a lot of people lost their life, their lives on that day, because of course there were a lot of bombing, train grenades up and down, shooting and all of that. So some people lose their lives that day. It was so sad. We pray that they are so fine to rest. I mean, situations like this just becomes very chaotic for people, brings about permanent wounds in the lives of people, and we watched from the video that those insurgency happened because of a cause. So there was a reason why they actually attacked in the first place. Whatever the reason is, I mean, that's not the best way to operate. The best way is to, you know, communicate these things than putting innocent people's lives at risk. But thank God for this SAS operator who is trained, a trained SAS operator that saved the day. Even though, you know, some people lost their life, but I mean, it would have been worse. It would have been worse, but it would have been. But thankfully, he got there with the help of the Kenyan officials that were there, who helped also to save the day. You know, he got a medal, for a honorary medal for it. I mean, recognition. He wrote a book and also as well. But also, let's not forget the help of the other Kenyan military people that were there, who also risked their life. So, like I said in the beginning of this, I said, what's the point of having so much training if you cannot go and, you know, put in that training to work? And that's what these people did. Collectively, they were able to, you know, save the day. So this was very interesting. It's very interesting to see that SAS operators, you know, they put their trainings to good use. Because I think I remember when I was talking about SS operatives, the kind of training they go through, rigorous training. Like not all of them come out as SS operators because their trainings are usually very rigorous. So I'm like, what kind of situation would make them, you know, have a situation whereby they have to put this kind of work? And this is a situation like this. Their situation like this. So let me know. Let's know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Do well to drop all your thoughts, questions, additions. If you experienced this a while ago, let's know what the experience was like. You know, what were the stories you heard, especially if you are Kenyan. I have one or two things to say about this. We really appreciate your responses. Do well to like, share, subscribe, turn on post notification bell. I'll see you in my next video.